there's not a massive philosophy to my blog. It's basically, it started because my sister was complaining because I'd always make nice things for lunch and tell her what it was, and then she could never make it. So I started that so she could see what it was I was making, but I don't think she's ever actually made anything. But it's sort of, I guess the Kitchen Explorer bit is I do try and make things that I've never made before, but it's nothing kind of really fancy. It's just kind of what I have for dinner.
Well, since my blog is called Around the World in 80 Markets, that was the original idea. Basically, I went traveling about a year and a half ago, and yes, I basically blogged about various markets. From then it kind of moved on quite a bit. So these days I kind of blog about all sorts of different foodie things, obviously restaurant reviews, the things I make at home. It's kind of all over the place a little bit at the moment. But the main focus, I suppose, food, and also food, how it relates to culture, how it relates to people when they travel to other places, how they take food from other places and bring back to their own countries. That is the idea.
My food blog style is, or I suppose it will be now, after today's fantastic event, now I can get myself more focused, is to write a little bit more about baking, making cakes and also confectionery, but also writing about the day in the life of a market trader. Actually, you know, the logistics behind actually standing behind a stall, and also, you know, the fun of it as well. And that's what I'm going to write about initially. So I hope that answers your questions.
My food blog is about my journey to launch my own catering business one day. It's not going to happen overnight, but it's a career that I nearly took up when I was a teenager, and I went a different direction and got horribly lost. And then when I had a baby and I was at home, and I thought, right, I'm going to do something completely different, and I've always loved cooking. And then I just got into loads of other food blogs and thought I really want to do that because I love photography, I love writing, and it just pulls together lots of things I'm really interested in.
My blog is all about travel and food. I'm always traveling, and when I'm traveling, I'm always eating and looking for food. 99.9% sweet. It's all about dessert and sweets for me. So I'm baking, I'm tasting, I'm looking for the sweet specialties and the good stuff. Dessert.
Well, my food blog is kind of a bit of a mix because that's what I do. It's anything from recipes that I'm cooking, or food that I'm thinking about, or restaurant reviews, or even just interviewing someone, or sometimes it could just be a photograph of something that I love that's got me thinking about a food memory from childhood. So anything and everything to do with my life with food.
My blog is actually supposed to be about my life in general, but I found that basically every single post is about food. So it's what I make at home and where I eat out and everything in between, really.
When I'm not eating, I'm thinking about eating. When I'm not thinking about eating, I'm cooking. When I'm not cooking, I'm sleeping and dreaming about food. And when I wake up, I start the whole cycle again. My whole life is about food. Making, cooking, markets, restaurants, museums, anything to do with food.
So the thing is still under definition, but the idea is that we're not getting recipes with tips and technical information on how to proceed, if the things results funny, why the results funny. And now I'm starting a sort of second thread about traveling. So it's fun description of the city, so really a travel guide with the gourmet dinner underneath. So with full pictures and full description of the results and what was wrong, what was right, from the cooking point of view. So if you will do the same dish, why to make the steak not so rare or not so tough? This kind of thing.
My food blog is about desserts, and so I create desserts and cakes and all sorts of sweet delights, and take pictures and put them on my blog, really.
My food philosophy is food, and it's the philosophy behind my blog as well, is that food tells a story. It talks about cultures. It stirs up emotions. You connect with other people through food. And this is what I do with my blog, because my food is meant to tell a story to the people I'm serving it to. And to lead into the food on my blog, I tell a story about how I chose this recipe, what it means to me, or what it's inspired in me.